up, everybody? TSR show, we back at it like a crack addict, baby. Got my boy Smurf, my boy Ant with me this beautiful chilly ass Sunday. What y'all doing? How y'all doing today?
Man,
Doing good.
we out here pissed off, pissed off at the Raiders.
All right, before we get into that, we got to start the show off right. We got to start it off with the off the top, just real quick. Ant, you got an off the top?
Yeah, I got one today.
Let's hear it.
Hit us with it.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of people been out of work, and there's people been working, right, during all this COVID time. And just talking to people like medical field, anybody that's worked through this whole pandemic. And what's crazy is hearing people talk, and they're saying they've worked harder now than they did before, right? And what I'm getting at by that is like people, yeah, I've been working through this whole thing, nurses, doctors, anybody that's been working, we've had to work and actually maintain our jobs. Well, yes, people are out of work, and I understand that. But the thing about it is you have to work and still maintain that high level of being what you are, a nurse, a doctor, stuff like that. And this comes just talking to family members, stuff like that. It's been working. My brother, retail nurse, my sister-in-law, a nurse. And it's crazy because Mike, my brother specifically, me, my sister-in-law, still being kept up to those high standards, while these fucks that I know that are out there, like another family member of mine that's collecting unemployment, just blowing it on bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going to get at right now, because I know you guys want to work. I know you guys want to do this, but we're still out here doing what we need to do, held up to high standards, maintaining our jobs, going to work, doing what we have to do. And these other people out here just buying TVs, buying a bunch of unnecessary fucking bullshit. And it's fucking ridiculous. Now I hear some more money's coming out where we're located for the unemployment. God bless them. I hope they're doing good. And it just pisses me the fuck off because we're getting pulled in offices. Oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. And we're working double hard while these people aren't working. And I'm not getting at like everyday people like waitresses, stuff like that. I wish you the best. But when you see fucking dumbass junkies out there that didn't even want to work in the first place and they're still collecting fucking unemployment checks, that's what pisses me off. And it sucks because we're going through all this stuff, not saying we're putting our lives at risk, but putting our family members, stuff like that. We don't want to get them sick. And you got these people just running out here rampant, not giving a damn, going to parties, hooking up with people, just living it up.
Yeah.
Well, we're having to get our sleep, go to work, do what we have to do. And I just think sometimes I just see it because I'm going to be honest, I have this cousin that's a piece of shit. And when she found out this new money's coming out, she started dancing for fucking joy. And I'm like, you goddamn piece of shit. You didn't want to work in the first place. The only reason you got your fucking unemployment is because you got fired 3 or 4 months before the pandemic even hit. You weren't even looking for a job. Now you're collecting all this money, pissing it away on bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this what it really is? Like, I'm over here slaving it, having to do my job even more, working late, picking up extra days for this garbage to be out there fucking be able to live it up off the government's dollar. Now I could see why people get mad at like people on unemployment, all that shit, because it's fucking bullshit. And that's my off the top, and I just had to get off my chest because that one person's just putting a sour taste in my mouth for all this bullshit.
Mine was. I know that. Let me take that all in. Hold on, let me process. Mine kind of has to do with the same thing, and that was like the question was, I could see where they're coming from because like you said, we've been working through it, and it's kind of like we're still working, but then there's people that are making way more while we're doing more, they're doing less, and it's like, well, just help us out a little bit, pay the water or some shit. But that's the thing. That was my question. Was like the whole. So just today, in the day that we're recording it, they sent out the vaccines, the first batch of vaccines from the Pfizer facility up in Michigan. And so you got like the first batch of 145 are going to hit 145 destinations. Second batch is on Monday. Second batch is 425 sites by Tuesday and 66 on Wednesday. So are y'all going to take the vaccine?
That's a negative on my side.
So me, obviously, I got hit with the COVID. So it wasn't very fun for the first week. I'm still not gonna take it. I don't think I'm gonna take it.
It's almost like the PS5, right? Like for me, I'm gonna wait for the first wave of PS5s to come out. I might pick it up next year. Let me see what it does after about a year. Because I think Ant was saying something like those that got it in the UK or some shit.
Yeah, so the first batch of people, quite a few people got Bell's palsy. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it, but it's like when your face, like the nerves on one side of your face just lean. It's almost like having a stroke. And one of my brothers has had it like 4 times where he has permanent damage. And then my other brother and his wife have had it. So I've seen what it looks like, and it's not fun, man. It's something in your nerves, and it causes like damage, and it could be permanent. It could just go away, but there's nothing to really even say how they get it too. So that's what's kind of steered me away from it. And I'm like, man, I'm not about to deal with that shit.
I just feel like
don't mess with my looks. Don't mess with the face. Don't mess with the looks. This is all I got. It's my moneymaker right now.
That's the thing. It's just like it's fucking early. It's like too early for me. Like that was too to create a vaccine for me.
It's like that new iOS. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect.
Yeah, you got to find out the bugs before you start throwing that shit into your body.
Yeah.
I'm not cool with that.
Yeah. All right, Smurf. Now here you go. I know you've been preparing for this moment all day. So let's get in some NFL. And let's start off with them Raiders versus the Colts.
So I don't know where to start with this. I could go down very many avenues through a bunch of avenues, but I'm gonna try. I wrote so many stuff down for this game. I'm just pissed off at the Raiders right now. Specifically their defense and their defensive effort and their defensive scheme and the players that they have on defense. Let's start off with Jonathan Abram. So Jonathan Abram, everybody hyped him up. So he got hurt last year and everybody hyped him up saying, oh, when 2020 comes around, we're set at safety. We got Jonathan Abram, this, that, and the other. Jonathan Abram, he's not meant to be made for the modern game. He can't cover. Yes, he hits hard. Abram came into today allowing a completion percentage of 72%. That's awful. That's not good at all. Okay.
Especially when you're the last line of defense.
And then here's the other thing. Raider fans got to be some of the most delirious fans in the world. And I say this because a player is made available, or they see that a player is available. It could be a linebacker, a safety, or a cornerback, like a Stephon Gilmore, like a Jamal Adams, right? Yeah. And they say, oh, let's go get him. Let's go get him. Let's go get this player. Ignoring the defensive line. Because I think pass rush is the key to everything. The Raiders' pass rush is fucking trash. They signed Carl Nassib. He's trash. They're anointing Max Crosby to be this Khalil Mack, this top-notch defender, and he's not that dude. He's probably our best sack getter, but if you were to stack him up against other defensive lines, he's not even their best defensive lineman. Okay. I got another thing about the Raiders. I keep going back to this is drafting Henry Ruggs in the first round of the draft. What did he do today? He didn't do nothing. They're not featuring him, and he's not doing anything to be worth that first round pick. You know who is? Javon Kinlaw. We should have got Kinlaw. We should have got defensive players or like a Kenneth Murray, someone over drafting a receiver in the first round. The Raiders defense have given up 418 yards rushing on 65 carries. That's 6.4 a carry in the last 2 games. How trash is that? That's pretty trash. Okay.
Garbage.
The Colts punted 1 time today. Once. Raiders allowed 30-plus points for the 8th time this season. That ties for second most in franchise history. They did it 9 times in 2004, 8 in 1960, 14 and 18. Here's another one. You ready for this one? This is the one. Raiders have allowed 40-plus points 9 times under John Gruden in 2018. They allowed 40-plus points 9 times in 9 seasons before that. It's like their defense is so trash. They almost allowed a first down when it was 3rd and 13 on a fucking running play, blood. Running play.
I've seen that so much from the Raiders this year. 30, even play. Like 3rd and 17.
And everybody wants to hate on Derek Carr. They want to hate on Derek Carr, this, that, and the other. And I get it. He had 2 issues today, but he's not the fucking issue. He's not the issue. He has to play perfect. In order for him to overcome these Raider deficiencies. So they finally fired the defensive coordinator. But let me get back to Derek Carr. The issue I do have with Derek Carr is it's 2nd down and they're at 2nd down and goal. And there was a play where the pressure is so much on the offense that in my mind, Derek Carr, you know that your offense is trash. Stop relying on your arm. Just run and get some fucking yardage. What he did was he threw it, incomplete pass, came to 3rd down, threw it, incomplete. They had to fucking kick a field goal. And the Raiders are now trailing by 7. They were down by 10 at the time. And that's the other thing with John Gruden, blood. John Gruden, your defense is trash. It is trash. Stop kicking these field goals. Maybe he did it out of spite to say, all right, Paul Gunther, it's on you. Mm-hmm. And ended up costing his job. I see the Raiders play defense and I see other teams play defense, and it's like I'm watching a fucking different game. I see the Cowboys defense play. They're trash too, don't get me wrong. They're pretty I thought the Raiders defense is trash. I think the Cowboys is even more trash. Mm-hmm. But I'm tired. Like, stop, Raider fans. Shut the fuck up. The key is pass rush. We need some pass rushers. We don't need a lockdown corner. We don't need a fucking safety. We need pass rush.
You need that front 7.
That's what we need. They got no sacks today. None. They got 1 quarterback hit. And that is, I'm done going off on the Raiders, but that's my thing right there.
Well, going into that, after hearing all that, I gotta say, I gotta give it. I always do this to you, but you are right. That defense is trash. I saw that run today, and it mind blowing. The run for the touchdown, and I was just like, "This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous." And a lot of people will say, like a lot of hardcore fans will say, Derek Carr, or not even hardcore fans, just your run of the mill, breeze along. I'm a Raider fan. Derek Carr is trash. We don't, and all it really boils down to is the defense is terrible. If you don't have a pass rush, then all you're doing is making your corners and your safeties have to work harder because now they got to cover longer. And all it does is give them time to throw the ball and get those completions. And it's a pain in the ass watching these games because I have so much hope. And it feels like we just can't win in December. There's something about December. They're just ready to go to Christmas. They're ready to go spend time with their families. I don't know, but we just do not do good in December this last 3 years. It just seems we start good and we're ending the season terribly. And that's what it is.
And the thing is, I'm glad I'm not a Cowboy fan because Hector kind of reminds me of a Raider fan sometimes when he always says next year's our year. Next year's our year. And I thought it was Cowboy fans that were like that, but it
goes across the league.
It is a bunch of Raider fans, and I read this tweet that describes it the best, especially for dick riding Raider fans. It says, I wish I could describe the dichotomy between the optimism of Raider fans during the offseason versus the reality of what they really are. Mm-hmm. I really do understand why people call Raider fans so delusional. I really do. And that's what they do during the offseason. Raider fans are like, yeah, you know, it's the shit with Jonathan Abram is one that comes to mind. We're set at safety. We're this, that, and the other. And they want all – it's like it's fantasy fucking football. They want all these players, and it's like, bro, shut the fuck up. We don't even know if he's going to be that good. And shut the fuck up. We need to start from the defensive line out. We don't need Jonathan. What's the fucking safety that got traded to the Seahawks that they traded Jamal Adams that they traded two first-round picks for? You think he's going to make a fucking difference? A box safety? We need people that can cover, and we need people that can rush the passer. I'm like, well, they're so delusional. They remind me of Cowboy fans. They're so fucking delusional. It's like, take a look in the mirror. You're fucking fat. You don't weigh. You think you're looking as pretty 50 years old to when you look like you were 30 years old, but the reality is you're not. You're not.
Marcus is calling me out for being fat.
I thought he was taking shots at me. I mean, first the Raiders fans, and then he's like, take a look in the mirror. You're
sorry,
Raider fans need to take a look in the mirror. And then they call for Paul Gunther to get fired, right? All right, Paul Gunther got fired, all right? If the defense still is ass, who the fuck is you going to blame now? Because you can't blame the defensive coordinator. Maybe it is the players that suck. Maybe it is. You know?
Yeah. I think you'll go for it, Hector.
Well, I was just gonna say I think it's also hard too because like the Raiders, we did say that they had some talent around enough to make a system work. So then that's what you fight in teams a lot of times is like, is it the players? Is it the system? Is it the coach? Is it this? Is it that? So it's like it all. We know that winning football games, it has to start in the trenches. It always starts in the trenches. I mean, they had a rusher up against the Raiders go for 150 yards. I mean, if one guy can do that to your whole defense, of course you're going to lose those games. And he's cashing them in with the 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's what I see with the Cowboys defense too. Is they know what's coming and they still get beat. They know what's coming and still get beat. I mean, it's going to be hard for for a lot of fans to accept Abrams just doesn't have the IQ right now, is what I see. He's always looking to just hit somebody.
And I'm tired of people calling him Abrams. It's Abram.
Abrams.
Go ahead.
Abrams.
Abram. Jonathan Abram.
Jonathan Abrams.
Yeah. Yeah.
With an S,
There's
right?
no S.
It looks
no
like
S.
hey, it looks like
There's no
looks
S.
like you might fit into that Raiders defensive scheme with the IQ you're giving us right now by not comprehending.
Doesn't Abrams sound better though?
Yes, it does.
Right? I'm just trying to make
I guess so. Regardless, we probably gonna have to call him Abrams, and he doesn't deserve to be called Abram by his fucking play. Like, I'm just tired of people anointing these fucking players without any fucking like. What have you done?
Yeah, so what have you done for me lately? And you have those.
At all.
Yeah.
This guy's angry, huh?
Do you think it's
man.
Gruden though? Like, does Gruden piss you off? Do you guys like him as a head coach for the Raiders?
My issue with Gruden is sometimes he knows that his defense is trash, and he will still kick the field goal instead of being more aggressive.
Right.
Exactly.
Especially on like the 4th and 2s, those 4th and 1s, like you got to have some plays that are just going to give you that one or two.
Like today, and some of it was Carr in that there was a one instance where Carr, it was again, it was he should have fucking ran.
Yeah. I honestly think there's a bunch of times that they should have gone for it, 4th and 2, 4th and 1, or even like I remember a few games that we've been in the red zone and it was 4th and goal, and I think we should just go for it. You know, I know he wants to get 3 points, but I think because the defense is so bad, you got to put the hands and you got to try to get some more points because you know they're going to score on that next drive because this defense
and the
is
other
unreliable.
The other thing is stop drinking that Raider Kool-Aid. Fans and Raider players, stop drinking that Kool-Aid where Mike Mayock is doing a great job from the fucking media. Mike Mayock and John Gruden are doing a great job. Answer me, what fucking player have they drafted in the first round? That's great.
Not really.
Other than Josh Jacobs. They got Jonathan Abram, Henry Ruggs, Damian Arnett in the first round, and Cleveland Farrell and Josh Jacobs.
They're not totally trash, but they're not superstars like what you should be getting in the first round.
And remember, they traded Khalil Mack for basically some of those players. It's just it just blows my mind. Like,
well, the Raiders started unloading all their like talent. Like you had Khalil Mack, you had Amari Cooper.
That's not talent.
It's not that it's not the issue that they unloaded the talent. It's when you've got a premium of first round picks, you need to hit on those. Otherwise, they're gonna set you back. And luckily for John Gruden and the offense, it's carrying the team. But the defense is still so fucking trash. And some of these, like,
I know, dude. You're just disappointed. You believe me? You're like, I know what you're going through. I know what you're going through.
It's just no one is. This is the scouting report. We are quick to down the middle. We're gonna tell you the fucking facts. Like,
well,
we're gonna try to find things before.
How do you draft Henry Ruggs in the first round and don't feature him?
Yeah. Yeah,
What I was saying is they drafted Henry Ruggs and Damian Arnett in the first round this year. What I was saying is, you know what? Trade up in the draft and get Chase Young.
That would be a good one.
Imagine if they would have got Chase Young.
Yeah.
That would have been a good one.
Well, the Raiders need to make some changes. They've already
Like a lot
started
of
with the
teams.
firing. Yeah, like a lot of teams.
Like a lot of teams.
This year has been weird, man. It's been odd because I think the absence of I got to go back to this with the absence of the OTAs, no training camps, none and all that. You had some moves as far as personnel. You're bringing in new players in, signing free agents, doing things like that. I mean, this year has been tough because we see like a lot of great players and not great, but good players and good teams on paper, and we feel like they're going to do something, and some exceeded expectations and some underperformed. And so I think just the absence of those things in the offseason is really something that has been taking effect of a lot of good teams, and I mean maybe not even on some of the bad teams because they stay bad, like the Jets and the Jags. Like you expect that, but moving on, man. We saw the Eagles and Saints today as well. Jalen Hurts with his debut, starting quarterback. I know I probably watched this one more than you guys on this one, but I gotta say from the Saints side of the football, I think the longer you're playing Taysom Hill, I think you're running a higher risk of losing more and more games. I don't see from Taysom Hill is he is strictly like right now a gadget QB. He doesn't read defenses well. Sometimes he audibles into some wrong calls or just doesn't see something, and he's a short to intermediate throw. He wants to get the ball out quick, and when he tries to force it, he really puts the ball in some dangers, man. There's some throws he got away with, especially in the end, trying to make him come back. I know they're probably going to keep with Hill, but Jameis Winston at this point, I think, is like a better pocket passer. We don't know when Breeze is going to come back. They keep saying it's like a week-to-week basis on him. So, but Taysom Hill, to me, man, I mean, he's got a lot of maturing in that position to do on that side of the ball. And then on the other side with Hurts in his debut, man, that first half, he looked good, man. He looked solid. He was stepping up in the pocket. He was what I saw from him is he was making a lot of quick decisions, and they were getting the ball out quickly for him. I think they started off calling the game in order for him to complete some throws, get him into a rhythm. But also, too, when the pocket was breaking down, he didn't hold on to the ball. He made a quick decision. If it seemed like if he wasn't comfortable with the throw, his legs really saved the Eagles in this game. I mean, he rushed for over 100 yards. And that was something that the Saints maybe did game plan for, but it really took an effect. As far as the Eagles, I think you have to keep Hurts moving forward. You saw some small QB rookie mistakes, but nothing too drastic.
He almost threw a pick.
Yeah. But then also like on a QB sneak, certain like he didn't just find that opening and go down like straight down. He like waited and waited and waited and then finally tried to like move a little bit over and push through. But those are like what you expect from a rookie type of mistakes. It wasn't like, shit, this guy sucks. Honestly, I felt like the Eagles' offense ran more fluidly with him than Wentz in the past couple of weeks.
Well, here's what I got from that game. I feel like Jalen Hurts, as compared to Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts was not as timid as Carson Wentz to use his legs more.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? where Carson Wentz relies more on his arm.
Mm-hmm.
He'll run some, but we know Jalen Hurts he's like, fuck it, I'm running. And the team as a whole ran for 246 rushing yards. So I was listening. I guess the Saints hadn't allowed a 100-yard rusher in over 55 games or something like
I
that.
think it was 59 games.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And they allowed 2 in one game.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not gonna put too much stock into this. As far as for Jalen Hurts, we'll see what he does next week. He didn't wow me,
Right.
but he didn't disappoint. He
Right.
wasn't like he didn't hit me with a Joe Burrow or a Justin Herbert type like, damn.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he didn't run away with the quarterback job. As far as the Saints, when are they going to free my boy Crab Legs, Anthony? When are they going to free my boy Famous Jameis?
Well,
yes.
the biggest thing I took away from this game was we were watching 2 quarterbacks that you have to scheme to them all the time. You got to play to their strengths. They are not typical pocket passers. They scramble a lot. And for that, the minute you scheme for them, people will figure you out. Then you get a Colin Kaepernick RG3 situation, because then now you shut them down, you make them throw. And once they throw, they don't got it because their reads are not there. They throw their reads are not there. If you look at the way they read, they're looking at the guys. And that's like the most important thing. They know where the ball's going. They come out, they get down, do their drop, boom, and you could even see it where they're going to go. One thing about Jameis, and what I think I like, is he can read the field. He needs to do a better job of it. But I think he should be what we're seeing right now.
He's a better
Hold on, time out.
He's an actual quarterback.
Hey, time out.
What?
Take a pause real quick because it glitched on my end.
You good?
Okay, yeah.
Go for it, Smurf.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm saying free Jameis simply for the fact because, like I said, there was a throw. It was in the corner of the end zone to Emmanuel Sanders, I believe, and Taysom Hill's feet were not set, and he was running. He was wide open, and he overthrew him.
Yeah,
he overthrew him.
He had time to throw as well.
Huh?
He had a little bit of time to. It was one of those shots where even if you just kind of throw it up there, it's still completable. Like, you know what I mean? He was so open in that sense.
Yeah. To me, I like quarterbacks that can run as opposed to quarterbacks that will run. You get what I'm saying?
That's a huge difference.
Yeah. Famous Jameis, I know he threw 30 picks last year. He should have been named Offensive Player of the Year. But I think that they have I don't know if they play the Chiefs next week. I don't know if they have a better chance. As a matter of fact, I think they have a better chance with beating the Chiefs with Famous Jameis as opposed to Taysom Hill, just because, like I said, Hector said it best. He's a gadget quarterback. The offense has a higher ceiling with the pure passer of the football. To me, what makes a good quarterback –
Especially with the way Sean Payton does his offense. Sean Payton has a traditional offense usually. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine, because here's the thing. Almost anybody can throw to a receiver that's wide open.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But when you can fit the ball through windows, that's what separates you from being a great quarterback as to compared to another one, which brings me to a Patrick Mahomes. One of the reasons why I think he's great, yes, he can make the throws, but don't forget the how Andy Reid schemes some of these players open, and sometimes they're wide open where anybody is going to hit them.
Yeah. Especially when you have a Tyreek Hill, man. Like, but having a guy like that. But see, and that's what I saw with the Saints. From what I see from Hill, is he is a one side of the field read quarterback. Because if it's not there, he was quick to get out of that pocket, try and run, and the Eagles defense actually did a good job of containing him and not letting him get outside the pocket and try. They made him throw, and they exposed him. They made him throw, and that's what, like, also with Hurts, he was kind of the opposite of Hill, where he can run, but he wasn't looking for it right away. He was actually trying to go through and make the progressions and hit the wide open guy. But if something really was, if the pocket was just collapsing a little too fast on him, yeah, he would use his legs. A 3rd and 3, a 3rd and 5. He ran, and they have everything covered up. And so he was making like positive decisions and good decisions, as opposed to when Hill would try to come outside the pocket, gets a sack, fumble, making those things to just put them back into the game. So it was really like the battle of gadget QBs on that one.
Yep. Yeah. That's all it really was. And you could just tell watching it. It's like, if you scheme for these guys, yeah, they're going to do good. But I like what he said. He said can run or will run, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what you said. And if you notice, they will run. Mm-hmm. Both of these guys will run. And that's once you force them to pass, that's where you're going to see their flaws. And that's what they did with Hill. And I hope Hurts could actually do better. So I just wish him the best.
So the Saints play the Chiefs next week. So speaking about the Chiefs play the Dolphins today. Dolphins almost. I wouldn't even say almost, but they were down 30-10 going into the fourth quarter, and they made it interesting. But Patrick Mahomes threw 3 picks, and he seems to throw a lot of picks in that stadium, because that's the same stadium where they won the Super Bowl. He said he has a love-hate relationship, because they win the game, but he throws a lot of picks there. So what did you guys come out from that game, them beating the Dolphins?
I got a guy. Go ahead, Ant.
Dolphins are sneaky good. I think their defense is pretty solid. I just think they're sneaky good, and I like the way they kept it competitive. It was actually, watching all the red zone stuff, I saw a lot of highlights, and it was actually pretty interesting to watch it out. So
should they stick with Tua, or should they go to Fitzpatrick?
Tua. I'd stick with Tua.
Okay.
Well, going on that question, I think you stick with Tua, see what you really have.
Exactly.
And because, I mean, they didn't think they were going to be this good this year, I don't think, in Miami. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think. Yeah.
I think they were really, like, trying to look forward to next year and really doing something. But I think you also stick with Tua to really see what you have in him, and you got a couple quarterbacks coming off of free agency or out of the draft, and see what you can do there. The Dolphins, man, that defense allowed a lot in the first probably 3 quarters. But like he said, man, the Dolphins are sneaky good. The Chiefs, I gotta say, man, them with the weapons they have, with Andy Reid, you can honestly look at that team, and with Patrick Mahomes, and that's probably the best team in football. I mean, you don't see a lot of deficiencies in them, and I feel like when they have, if one player has a bad game, they have so many other weapons that are they have superstars. It's not even just weapons, they're superstars. You got the Tyreek Hills. the Travis Kelce's. You got the Pat Mahomes. Their offensive line can hold up. They can run the ball. They can pass protect. That defense is their O-line. The
You
Chiefs.
talking about the okay?
Yeah, the Chiefs O-line. Their defense is not stout. It's not like one of the best defense you'll ever see, but it's comparable to their offense.
They're gonna just that will be the downfall of the Chiefs if they have a downfall.
That's
It'll
if
be
you
their
had,
defense.
if you had to nitpick something, it would have to be their defense. But their offense is it's one of those games. The Chiefs, honestly, they're that team. They remind me a little bit of the Warriors, man, like in the NBA sense, where it's like even if they lose one game, it's like next game they're gonna come back and then just drill them by like 45 on the next team. You know what I mean? It's like if they lose, they come back even like twice as strong. Whereas you kind of see with the Steelers, they lose, they were on this big old win streak. Now they're like kind of questioning themselves. The Chiefs, it's almost like when they lose a game, it's like, oh well, that was just patty cake. We're fucking around. All right, let's get serious.
It's more about the Chiefs. It's more about like it's themselves.
Yeah,
like they lost. They didn't get beat.
Yeah, like they're so fucking good.
Yeah. I still say Mahomes MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Mahomes
you guys here's one of the things about the Dolphins where I just might caution you guys. They're very well coached, but this is one of those things where I say once you're in the position to win, you can't fucking go with the whole fuck. Well, they're gonna even be better next year.
No.
Oh no, I'm not saying that.
I'm just saying they've got 2 wins against the Jets, 1 against the Bengals, 1 against the Chargers, and then the other one is against the Broncos.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. Yeah, they're very well coached. They're pretty good, but I'm just cautioning. It's one of those things where you win now.
Right.
That's why I think Fitzpatrick is a better option because you can't. Because now next year you're going to play a even harder schedule. You're going to play your division. You're going to play every second place team, and then the opposite division of the NFC. So I'm just saying, like, I hate when people say, well, this is a stepping stone because if that's the case, why doesn't every team that loses the Super Bowl win the Super Bowl next year?
Like the Niners. The Niners are like that this year.
Yeah, they don't say, oh, well, fuck, we almost won the Super Bowl. But, hey, there's always next year. Okay, well, if there's always next year, then you got to the Super Bowl and lost it, then the only thing that you could do next year is win the Super Bowl. That's why I'm saying when it's time to win, you can't bank on being great or good again the next year. You can't.
Well, and you never know who you're gonna hit. And what I was saying is, I'm not saying they're they're gonna be great next year. I'm saying I don't think they were thinking they were gonna have this type of record at this point in time. I don't think they thought that. You know, they were still in like, well, this is our second year in rebuild. We still they're still looking for other pieces to fill into that team. So I think their mindset was like going, because you didn't see them. If it was a win now, I guarantee you they would have probably shot hard to try to sign a Tom Brady or a Jameis Winston in the offseason. But they didn't feel like they had that team. But now you start to see what you really have in these young players, and some even that they were just kind of putting into the system, and it's starting to gel. I don't think they were ready for it to be good this year.
Yeah.
Saying it's not like, oh, they're going to be great next year. No, I'm just saying I don't think they were ready to be good this year.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So what else?
True.
What
well,
else
let's
we
take
got
in Florida with Tampa Bay winning up against Minnesota. I know earlier in the season, you were talking about Dalvin Cook maybe being in the MVP race, but you know Minnesota hasn't. They're a very roller coaster team. I think they were that one team. They started slow. You see them kind of going up, and now they're starting to come back down and leveling out. My question to you guys is, what do you guys think about Vikings? Are they going to be a good team moving forward, or do you think there's some changes that need to start happening now?
Well, here's the thing about the Vikings is about the whole Dalvin Cook MVP thing. That was a long shot to begin with, but he is the best running back in the league.
Right.
He could do it all. He could do it all. As far as the Vikings, they're still in it.
Yeah.
Cardinals have 6 losses, and the Vikings have 7. Think about it. The Vikings started 1-5, if I'm not mistaken, right? They started 1-5.
Yeah, they did.
So as far as I don't really have much to say on the Vikings other than their defense is average, and they got a lot of young people in the secondary. But as far as the Buccaneers, they just came off their bye week, which is a late ass bye week to begin with, but nonetheless, they're like the second best front running team. I think the Ravens are the number 1 front running team, and I think the Buccaneers are second. Because you guys notice, I don't know if you guys follow Tom Brady on Instagram.
Nah.
He goes on this. He's been missing on Instagram for like about 2-3 weeks now. Every time they win, he does a little post with like some hip hop music in the background. He's all smiles. He's posting on Instagram because they win. They've been losing, and he's been gone from Instagram. He's been away from it. He has not been posting. He posts his kids, but he ain't been posting like that. So I like I said, the Bucks are they'll beat up on like those mediocre teams. They'll beat up on those mediocre teams, but who they beat that's good? The Packers. What is their significant win this year?
Yeah,
they haven't won on prime time, right? Maybe the Packers.
No, they haven't won on primetime. They've all lost on primetime.
Right. But I'm saying they haven't won on primetime, and the Packers is their marquee win this year. We can't say it's the Raiders now. We can't say it's the Raiders. We can't say it's the Raiders because a lot of people are saying the Raiders were one of their marquee wins. But look, the Packers or the Bucks, they came out, they did their thing. But they're I still think that Bruce Arians and Tom Brady is not a great fit. Tom Brady likes to dink and dunk, and Arians likes to go downfield. Everything downfield.
That's why Jameis had so many picks last year, because that's all he was doing was throwing down the field.
So many picks and so many touchdowns.
Yep, because he led the touchdowns and picks.
Yeah. So, anyways, what y'all got to say about this game or the Bucks in general?
Go ahead.
Nah, I just like you said, I don't believe in the Vikings. I think Sexy Rexy, what's his name? What's the quarterback's name? Kirk Cousins. I call him Rex Ryan. I call him Rex Ryan.
You mean Rex Grossman? You always confuse
Rex Grossman. Yeah, Rex Grossman.
There's a big weight difference.
Rex Grossman. It reminds me of Rex Grossman. That's the one. I just think that they're killing themselves. I think the Vikings are they just god awful sometimes watching them. The Bucks, I've seen them a little bit, but I just think that they're kind of overhyped. Like thinking, they're gonna win the Super Bowl in Tampa and all that stuff. Get over it, dude. Yeah, they're not gonna do that on the first year out. They need some time.
I don't see Kirk Cousins being there for long, man, to be honest with you. I know he has, I think, 2 years left on his contract.
They extended it.
They extended it out. So
this year.
I don't know. I just don't see he's the guy. I didn't know they extended him. I thought you only had 2 years left.
I don't see him there for long. And
they
extended it.
Yeah, they extended it.
No, I just don't see him as take. He's a comparable QB. He makes some good throws sometimes. I don't think he's going to take you to the promised land. Their defense has really took a dip.
But in that
honestly.
system, you don't need him to do that. Keep that in mind.
Right. But also, what I've been seeing with the Vikings is they're dipping. Their defense was like their strong suit. These past 2 to 3 years was their strong suit. I feel like this year their defense has just really taken a dip as far as yards allowed and also touchdowns. They've been one of the faster, hard-hitting defenses in the past 3 years, and it just seems like this year they're getting beat a lot on a lot of plays. As far as the Bucks, man, like Smurf said it best. I don't think Arians and Tom Brady are meshing well together. So one of them, I don't see them being there next year, whether it's the coach or the player. But I don't think
Probably, it's going to be the coach.
You think so?
If anything, yeah, Tom will stay.
Yeah,
he'll be the coach.
Tom is just defeating Father Time, man. For now, we
look. This is what I'm talking about. Tom Brady's Instagram, right?
Right.
He just posted.
Great to be doing one of these again. The whole team showed out today. December football.
Against the Vikings, right?
Right.
Bro, it's been since the fucking Panthers. Since they played the Panthers, since he posted anything football related.
But did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said in the beginning?
Good to be doing one of these again.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
Doing one of these.
A front runner. Front runner.
Yeah, he used to do that a lot in with the
In New
Patriots,
England.
you fucker.
Yeah. We'd see him every week.
Yeah, that fucker. That's crazy.
All right, so let's run through this one. Washington with the Niners moving on.
Niners are trash.
That's another. That's kind of one of those teams you were talking about, Smurf. With like, you win you get close to a Super Bowl, you're in the Super Bowl, you lose, and ever since then, it seems like the Niners just really took a dip. And you know what it really did remind me of is when they went to the Super Bowl with Colin Kaepernick, and then all of a sudden, the next 3-4 years, they were just trash, bro. They just started falling apart. Players started leaving. Obviously, you have a different GM.
Kaepernick regressed.
Garoppolo, to me, is just, we all agree, he's injury prone. And it just seems like one of those things where it starts with the first injury, and as an organization, you look at it and you're talking about, oh, well, let's see how he goes moving forward. After the first injury, and then a second one happens, now you're like, oh, well, it's not as big as the last one. Let's see how he does. Okay, it's 2-3 weeks out. And then it just becomes a repetitive thing. 2 weeks here, a week there, 3 weeks there. So Garoppolo has just more been injured than and also regressed as far as play.
Why are we talking about Garoppolo, though? He didn't play today.
No, but I'm just saying because they committed money to him. You don't know what's going on long term.
Yeah.
You went to you go to the Super Bowl with Garoppolo. So are you looking now to get a QB to take over, because we've already said he's been injury prone.
Okay, so I know for a fact that I'm gonna be nice to the Arizona 49ers. I'm gonna be real nice to them because I know we get a lot. I know we have a lot of people that listen to this show that are fucking Santa Clara fans. So I will say this. I will say this, that team was very injury riddled. No George Kittle, no Jimmy Garoppolo, no the MAGA. What's his name? The Bosa brother, Nick Bosa.
Oh yeah,
Nick Bosa. Yeah.
So they lost their best player on defense and their best player on offense. So they're still how would I say they're still productive. They're under 500, but they're hanging in there, I should say. Okay, about today's game, Nick Mullins he is what he is. He's a backup, you know. Jimmy Garoppolo, there's a lot of Santa Clara fans that are like, oh, just wait till we get Jimmy Garoppolo back. Just wait till we get, you know, they sound like Cowboy fans. Next year's our year. Okay, you might be good, but is Jimmy Garoppolo going to stay healthy? Is he? Yes or no? Because to this date, he's gotten hurt every year. Even when he filled in for Tom Brady, Jacoby Brissett had to come in. Jacoby Brissett had to come in.
Yeah.
He might have played his last snap as a
Niner.
49er. But the 49ers, that's another system. That's one of those Brown system. That's one of those Viking systems where the quarterback is not, how would I say this? You're not winning because of your quarterback. You just have to win despite because of your quarterback.
Right.
Does that make sense? Because
Yeah.
they're a running team. Their identity is a running team.
And it sets up the
blocking
RPO. Yeah, it sets up the RPOs, play action, all that.
So, and their defense. They've got a solid defense. There's a lot of people are saying Matt Ryan might go there because of the connection with him and Kyle Shanahan. A lot of people are saying maybe they might reach out to the jersey you're wearing right now, or bring back what's his name, Jimmy Garoppolo. But as far as, you know, they're still in it, I guess, because I think they're playing the Cardinals 2 times or maybe one more time. So I guess they're still in it. But I wanted to cut down the middle with the fucking Arizona 49ers. That's my take on them.
I got to say about Washington, it looks like Ron Rivera's actually pulling that team together. It wasn't going to be like instant where he changes the culture with everything that's gone around the name and everything like that with the Redskins. And
Well,
I
then
just
he
think
also
you
had
could,
cancer.
yeah, you could see that it's bringing it together a little bit, and that's kind of good if you're a Washington Redskins fan. That's kind of happening. I wish him the best. You know what I mean? Like, finally they're
shout
doing good.
out to Ron Rivera. Shout out to Ron Rivera because he's overlooked as a minority. They think that you've got to be black to be a minority head coach, but he's an actual minority.
Yeah,
he's got Mexican blood.
This guy.
Nah, for real.
Yeah, for real.
But he's
I know.
Coach though too.
Yeah, he is. He's actually a pretty damn good coach. That's why I said it is. A lot of people do overlook him. And another thing is, for all those guys out there that said, what is it, John Lynch as a GM, he's one of the best GMs. He's putting this team together. Dude, let's see what he's made of now. Now that he's struggling, let's see what he's made of and the moves that he makes to be known as a good GM. You had 1 year, and that's it. So let's see you do it now, buddy, because this is where you got to be good to get that thing going. And a lot of people are giving him a lot of credit, so let's see what he can do now.
Yeah.
I do think that the 49ers defensive coordinator might be – I think he'll be a head coach next year, and it's either going to be for the Lions or the Bears.
He's nice.
Yeah, he's good.
But that's the thing. You have also Shanahan for the next 4 or 5 years. And he's a damn good coach everywhere. Even him as a coordinator, you've always seen his offenses just be productive.
A good schemer, good play designer.
Yes, good and game planner too, as well. I think he game plans pretty well against teams.
I don't know about a good play caller in crucial moments, though.
Yeah, that's always been an issue with him.
Not as bad as Anthony Lynn, though. I mean,
your boy Anthony Lynn. So on the, let me see if. So talk about the game. Talk about the game.
Just take it. He's gonna go in.
Now go for it, guys.
Go ahead, talk about it while I look up the video.
No, go for it, Hector.
Uh, so last week we had a discussion about coaches on the hot seat. For just to kind of put it in context, and Anthony didn't want Anthony Lynn to get fired because obviously he had a rookie QB, and we were talking more about how Anthony's Lynn decision making and crucial moments specifically, how bad it is. And Smurf just sent us a video through the group chat that was just fucking hilarious.
So here's what it is. So it's let me see if I can play it here for you guys to see.
Kind of put my foot in my mouth.
So it's third down. Right? It's third down. End of the second quarter. They're about to go into halftime.
There's
no
14
timeouts
seconds.
left.
13
No
seconds.
timeouts left. They run the ball. They choose to run the ball. So it's fourth down. And they're like, oh shit, am I staying in? Oh fuck, no, bring the field goal unit out. And then they kick the field goal and time runs out.
I saw that.
What kind of idiot does that in the NFL?
That's fucking embarrassing.
That was Herbert's fault.
It was a play calling fault, dude. It was obviously the play caller's fault. Because I saw it happen, and I was just like, I'm humiliated. After I stuck up for this fool, and I'm just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt behind my back with no Vaseline, and I just get screwed.
But it's little things like that he's been doing. And
right.
I get on Hard Knocks, he's a rah-rah, I'll run through a wall for him. But when it comes to game decisions, he's not the sharpest one in the field.
He's not the finest
weed. He's kind of an Andy Reid. Andy Reid had that stigma for a long time with bad game management.
Andy Reid would always go into the end of the game with no timeouts left.
Exactly.
Or one.
Exactly. So Andy Reid used to do the same thing. Maybe this guy just needs to grow up and fucking learn what he's doing and stop making me look bad. That dick.
Hey, but that's interesting. That's good that you did bring. I totally forgot that about Andy Reid because he has really.
In the Super Bowl. He did it in the goddamn Super Bowl.
Yes. Like it just he really flipped it with this year with the Chiefs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another thing is Mike McCarthy. What did he do? He reminds me of another one of those coaches where he does some. I guess I don't know what it is. I notice shit that like no one else notices it, but people think they oversee it. But I see it, and it's like, this is going to be a hindrance at some point. I can't remember what he did. I don't know if it was against – who'd you guys play last? The Ravens?
It was the Ravens. So this is what pissed me off against the Ravens is they already have the lead, right? And Greg Zuerlein ends up missing like a 36-yarder. Right?
Oh, that's what it was. He went for a field goal. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, and
he
so the next one.
For it.
Yeah, so and then it's like 4th and 2, and he goes for a field goal, and it's like a 52-yarder.
Yeah.
Of course he's so then he comes back. They're trying to get back in the game. And I think it was like a 4th and 6, but I mean or something like that. Then he kicks another field goal, and it's like a 53-yarder. And he misses it again. It's like, dude, if you're not going to go for it at that point and you're that, like, just try to pin him back. Why are you giving him half the field if you know your kicker isn't making – he can't even make an extra point? I think he also missed an extra point in that game. And so go ahead.
So here's one of those things where that's where in my mind it's like the Raiders have that same shit where a team has a shitty defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
A shitty defense.
Right.
So then your coach makes a conservative call because – or no. I'm sorry. Your team has a shitty defense.
Mm-hmm.
Your coach then does a conservative call, not realizing he has a shitty defense, but he's forced to be put on this microscope where it's like, if your defense was competent, then maybe you either punt it or you could say, all right, I don't blame him for kicking the field goal. But because your defense is shitty, you need to be more aggressive and not rely so much on your defense. So that's where people will say, oh, well, fuck John Gruden, fuck Mike McCarthy, fuck ex-quarterback Derek Carr, not realizing, well, look, they're doing this because – or I'm sorry, they're being conservative. I get it. Blame them for being conservative when they should be aggressive. But don't forget, they're in that position of scrutiny because their defense is so shitty. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
But then you also see it, though, too, with the good coaches like a Sean McVay. 4th and 3, 4th and 4. Usually it's like a 4th and 5. It doesn't even matter. He's still being aggressive, and he has a good defense. And he goes for those. Like if I'm in or if I'm in their territory, I don't care if I'm on their 48. I'm going for it. And like regardless, I'm gonna try to get this first down because I just want to.
That's a coach.
Yeah,
That's a coach
aggressive.
that believes in their team.
Yes,
he believes in his team that much. That's what you respect about him. You know what I mean?
And keep this in mind. This is one of those things that I'm noticing right now. Just keep this in mind when the playoffs come. For 2 weeks, the Chiefs have been faced a 3rd and short, and if they miss it, they have to punt, and then their defense is on the field to either win or lose the game. So the Chiefs have been doing this, and I've been noticing it, and I'm sure coaches are going to notice this. They've done it twice in a row now. What Patrick Mahomes is going to do to convert is, instead of running, the Chiefs are passing.
Mm-hmm.
And what they do is they get Patrick Mahomes to sprint right and pass the ball. They did it against the Dolphins today. So the book might be out on what they're going to do. Just keep that in mind when the playoffs come around. When the Chiefs when they're in that position again and they're winning by a touchdown or by one score and they need to convert, just watch out for that Patrick Mahomes sprint right, dump off. And it's smart by the Chiefs. They're not going to make them stand back there, risk getting a sack. They're gonna make them run to where they run for the first or throw it.
But they do that
twice in a row now.
They do that a lot in their goal lines too. They do that.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, in the red zone, like at 3-yard line. That's like their number one play that they always, because a lot of times too, even if they see it and they crash onto their left, but the Chiefs right, Mahomes will spin out and they always have like someone like on a waggle come out on the back end, usually like a Kelsey or a tight end coming on the back end. So it's almost like he has like 3 outlets: the pass, the run, and then the other pass out here if it gets all clogged up on that side.
And that's what I like about the Chiefs and Andy Reid. It's so smart because think about it. If you're it's fucking brilliant because if you call a pass play where you're going to stand back there, well, now it's up to your arm to get the first down. As where if you're doing a sprint right, you could either run for it or throw it.
Mm-hmm.
As where if you're back there, it's either you have to complete it or not.
Yeah,
that's it. Risk getting a sack. But anyways, yeah.
Damn.
What?
When did Marcos become John Madden?
And then he's gonna hit it.
Oh my god! Bro. For a minute there, I thought I was watching Monday Night Football in 1991.
He's going to come around the right side and boom. And he's
Yeah.
boom. Pass it right there. Oh, boom. He's going to run it right up the side. Oh, they going to go clog it up. And then boom. He's going to spin around. And there's Kelsey right there.
Damn. Look at hey, Anthony.
Yo.
You went from John Madden. We're gonna start to call him Juan Madden.
Juan Madden.
That's him.
Oh
hey,
shit, that was crazy. I was sitting here going, damn, that is true. Fuck it. Hey, I see that a lot, bro. I see that a lot. It gets me mad. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, one more quarterback. I just want to kind of hit it on a quick rapid, right? Real quick. Is Cam Newton, is his career just finished? I know it's like out of the blue. We got to take him out of the blue. This is the TSR show. We want to call it first.
I've said it. He's never been a great quarterback passer of the football. He's never been it. What is he at? What's his stat line? 5 passing touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Fact check me on that. But I'm pretty sure he's got more interceptions than touchdowns. I'm pretty sure. Passing touchdowns. I've never been a big fan of trash Cam Newton. I honestly don't know what Bill Belichick saw in him, and that's where Bill Belichick fucked everything up. He cashed all his chips in on Stidham, and then realized, oh fuck, I made a mistake. I have Josh McDaniels. He had success with Tim Tebow. Let me get a running quarterback, which I went to go shopping at the clearance aisle, and I got trash Cam Newton.
5 touchdowns,
he's not
10 interceptions.
What is it?
5 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 2,172 passing yards.
There you go. Dak Prescott probably has more passing yards than him. He hasn't even played the whole year.
I think he does.
Or not passing touchdowns, passing yards. Maybe he does have more passing touchdowns.
I've been checking. I'm going to check right now.
I bet you
Crazy, bro.
I bet you he
You
does.
would have never expected something like that out of New
He hasn't
England.
even played the whole year, and he has more passing tugs.
Hold on.
Man. Anyways, what you got to say, Anthony?
I think they got what they paid for. What they pay him, $1 million? That's it.
Yes, I think 700. No.
And Richard Sherman was like, "Oh, this is ridiculous. They're paying an MVP $1 million. He's trash. He's just a name."
And what it is now, he's gonna be at best maybe a backup quarterback in the league.
Real quick, Dak Prescott has 9 touchdowns and 4 interceptions with 1,856 yards. So Cam Newton has like 300 more yards, but 4 less touchdowns and 6 more interceptions.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I mean,
Fucking
I think it's gonna be hard for him. He's a backup now at this point because he's gonna stay in the league. Yeah. People are still going to sign him regardless. But all that.
But is that beneath him? He seems like a player. He seems like a player where that could be beneath him.
That
almost like a RG3 G3 kind of thing where he wants to think that he's better than what he is.
Well, he's a backup now.
Yeah, I think he's a backup.
But at first, he didn't want to be. He wanted to be a starter. Remember, he was always constantly saying, "I want to be a starter."
Yeah, and I think, but where I kind of see him fit, I could see him with the Seahawks, like as a backup. What do you think?
Yeah, that'd be a good spot for him.
Because right now, I think they have Geno Smith as the backup in Seattle, right?
Yeah.
So he's gonna have to accept that role. I mean, I don't see him being a starter anyway.
One thing on this though. One thing on this though, with the offensive weapons he has around him, they don't fit Cam Newton's style. But at the same time, Bill Belichick hasn't done a great job in drafting wide receivers.
Because
drafting in general too.
Because he knows they don't make an impact.
Huh?
He knows they don't make an impact. Receivers.
Well, he drafted N'Keal Harry in the first round, which I think he's a bust.
Yeah, I mean, but that is weird. So does that make him a better coach or not? Because he was never really good at drafting players, keeping them long term. He would trade players in their primes and still found ways to win. So I think at this point, you kind of got to see like maybe Tom Brady is better than what we thought he was.
It goes like this. There's Tom Brady or there's Bill Belichick, the coach, which he's good. And then Bill Belichick, the one who picks players, the one who drafts players and signs players. Yeah. Where he's a little bit questionable there. And then as far as Tom Brady had the system. They went hand in hand.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They
worked well together.
Yes. Yeah. It was like a good puzzle together.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think that does it for the NFL, boys. I know we got to move on. Let's move on a little forward. Yeah, let's keep it moving with let's talk some NBA. The NBA is back. You had the ESPN top 10 list come out. Players of this year. So let me run down through the list, just 1 through 10, and then we'll discuss our top 10. So number 1, of course, you have LeBron James. Number 2, you had Anthony Davis. Number 3, Giannis I always have trouble with his Antetokounmpo.
Just say Giannis.
Giannis. Number 4, you got Luka Doncic. Number 5, you got Kawhi Leonard. 6, Kevin Durant. 7, Damian Lillard. 8, Steph Curry. And 9, James Harden, with 10 ending off with Nikola Jokic. Do y'all got a problem with the top 10 list?
I have a problem with the top 10 list. I have a problem with the list in general. So what I wanted to do is what we're gonna do is we're gonna speak on where they got it wrong, and then we'll give our own list. So, for example, what is Giannis? There's so many players. For example, I'll hit it on one player. Giannis being number 3 is a fucking joke. That's a joke. Giannis being the 3rd best player in the world is a joke for a guy that's great defensively, off the ball defense, on ball defense. Okay. Everything is to the rim for him. He can't shoot. Everything is all fast break to him. When it all breaks down in the half-court offense, does he have a go-to move? Does Giannis have a go-to move?
No.
Does he? He doesn't.
I mean,
he can't shoot. Yeah. I just saw him. I just saw him the other day on a fast break, pull up at the 3-point line, whoop, shoots a fucking air ball.
Yeah.
He's not skilled. It's all athleticism for the guy.
Power.
He's been bounced in the playoffs. Honestly, I would not be hating on this guy. If you were to call him a skinny center, then I would say, all right, he's cool. But we don't think of him as a center.
You're right.
So he's one of them. Well, who do you have an issue with, Anthony, in the top 10?
I have an issue with Kevin Durant's placement in the top 10.
Okay.
And that's my biggest one. With Giannis being number 3, Anthony Davis being at number 2, Kevin Durant should definitely be the number 2 player. Giannis should be lower, significantly lower, maybe like 9 or 10. I could go on from there. It's just I just feel like number one and number two are just basically because they won the tournament. I don't want to call it a championship, but they won
The
that tournament.
tournament. I like how you said
Yeah,
it.
they won. They
That
won
was a good
tournament.
one.
So
He slipped that in
So-
real nice. Huh?
Yeah,
I didn't even catch it till he
That was a
said
good
it.
one.
I was
I
like,
caught that.
yeah.
yeah, they won a tournament. That was basically glorified what it was. So I just think that's my problem with it. I think the numberage is off. Other than that, there's a player in there I probably would put better, but I'll go over that once I hit my list.
What about you, Hector? Do you agree with this list? Do you have a problem with?
The one I had a problem with was Giannis needs to be lower. I felt like instead of, fuck. I don't think it was placed right. Now, one thing I will say is I think Kevin Durant being out, I think that maybe dropped him from there as far as ESPN point of view. Giannis, I still don't see how he's going to take that team over the hump. He can't do it alone. Like you said, he doesn't have enough scoring ability in him to really take over a game. I like how they actually put Damian Lillard up there. He's finally starting to get some respect. I've been a Damian Lillard fan for about 3-4 years, man. Like probably since he's been in. The one thing I respect about him is how he's not leaving, and trying to build these super teams and to win chips. Like he's all about the grind and the hustle, and every year he stays consistent. But I would say my biggest thing was Giannis being up there, and I really liked Kawhi Leonard, bro. But seeing him with the Clippers, I don't know. I have a weird feeling about him now. Like I really liked him. He was like the Mr. Cool guy. But him with the Clippers, like taking games off and really full of himself. At first, I was like, the organizations are dicks to him, like when he was with the Spurs. But now, like, I'm starting to see, like, oh, are we seeing a different Kawhi? Am I seeing a different Kawhi, or am I seeing the same one? I just wanted to see what I wanted to see from a Kawhi Leonard.
So here's how I want to attack this list.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you guys a couple questions.
Okay.
And this will tell us how they got it wrong. Because I think there's a lot of fucking stupidity in this list. It's almost as stupid as ranking Lamar Jackson the number one best player last year in the NFL.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So, okay, they've got LeBron James as number one. So I'm going to just go down the 10.
Right.
Can you win a championship with LeBron James as your best player?
yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis, they've got him number 2. Can you win a championship with Anthony Davis as your best player?
no,
Okay.
It was proven with the Pelicans.
Okay. Giannis at number 3. Can you win a championship with Giannis as your best player?
So far, he's proven no.
no,
Okay. Luka Doncic, 21 years old. Can you win a championship with him as your best player?
no, not yet.
Now, I'd still probably put him in. I'm a Doncic fan, dog. Like, I like Luka. So I'd put him in top 10. I don't know about, like, number 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't ask that.
Right,
I said,
but
can you win a
I
championship
think
with
you
him as
can.
your
I
best player?
think you can with Luka.
Okay.
Luka's nice.
Okay.
Luka's
Okay.
nice, bro.
Kawhi Leonard, can you win a championship with him as your best player?
He proved
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to go back to he proved
Okay.
it in a little bit. Okay. Kevin Durant, can you win a championship with him as your best player?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Damian Lillard, can you win a title with him as your best player?
No.
No. Steph Curry, Can you win a championship with him as your best player?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
we've seen
James Harden. Can you win a championship with him as your best player?
No. No, you can't.
I'm on the fence on that one.
Okay, on the fence.
I'm on the
So
fence.
right now, we're on the fence with Luka and Harden, correct?
No, I said Luka, yes.
Right.
I think you can win one, yeah, because
Okay.
I'm
But
a
as
fan.
a whole,
Right.
between us, we're on
Right.
the fence.
Yeah.
Nikola Jokic, can you win a title with him as your best player?
No,
This is the
not yet.
first center.
I think
No.
he's one of those centers that are more at I don't think you can win with him being your best player. Not
Okay.
your best player.
Okay, so that rounds up the top 10. I'm going to give you my list, and this is how I did my list. I think the 4 best players are people you can win a championship definitively. They've either done it or they can.
Right.
LeBron James, Kawhi
Right.
Leonard, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. Do we agree on those 4?
We can agree
Yes,
on
that's
that.
what my
Top 4
top
players.
4 would. That's what a top
As your
4 would
top
be,
4.
anyways. Yeah.
Do
yes.
we agree? Okay. In comes the 5th spot. The 5th spot is Luka Doncic, James Harden, Anthony Davis. Those 3. I think those 3, in whatever order you want to have them, are the next 3.
Okay.
So that's a
That's
total in my list. That's a total
7.
of 7 players. 7 players.
Mm-hmm.
Then I do agree with Damian Lillard being a top 10 player.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably closer to the 10 side. I don't think Nikola Jokic is a top 10 player. And I don't think Giannis is a top 10 player, simply for the fact of he's not skilled. So in there, it gives me 2 spots. And I would put
LaMelo Ball.
where's he at? Joel Embiid. I would put Joel Embiid. No. I would put Joel Embiid. And I guess I would put Giannis at number 10.
See, I don't know if I could put Embiid with there, man.
That's how my list would go. So it would be LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard,
Steph Curry,
Anthony Davis, James Harden, Luka Doncic, Damian Lillard, Joel Embiid, and it kills me to say this, but I guess we'll put the Greek brick up in there.
Go ahead, Ant.
That's a good list.
What's your list?
So my list would be,
And that was my criteria.
okay. So mine would be LeBron James. What's his name? Oh, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, Steph Curry. Okay, this is where we're different. I would put Harden, then Luka Doncic, then I would go with Damian Lillard. To round out my 3 would be Djokovic. Is that how you say his name? I don't know how to say that. Jokic. I put Jokic. And my last 2 would be, I already got Harden. Who else am I missing?
So excluding, you don't have on that list is Giannis or
Giannis would be 10.
okay. So yeah, Giannis is the only one you missed on there.
Giannis, and
So you think they got the top 10 players right?
I think they got the
just out
top
of
10
order.
players. They're out of order. And I was going to say, I just think they got it wrong in the order that they put them in. I think they got the top 10 players right. Because you can't, I like Klay Thompson, but he's not a top 10 player. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's like top 20.
He's top 15.
Yeah,
I
he's
would
like
put
top
Clay on
15, top 20. Yeah, yeah. But he's not. He hasn't done nothing really. Well, it's hard for him because he plays on a good franchise. But I would like to put him in there. But I think they got think they got the players right.
Oh,
Just
Anthony Davis. You forgot Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis would be 9. Yeah.
Okay. What about your list?
Switch it. Djokovic 9. Anthony Davis 8.
Jokic.
There we go.
Jokic.
Whatever that Russian guy's name is. Whatever that Russian is.
He's been saying that since the pregame. Djokovic.
He might be. I don't think he's Russian. I think he's Croatian or something.
Well, it's the same thing. It's the same country. They all got invaded by Russia.
European.
Yeah, yeah.
They're able to get the vaccine before us. How about that?
Yeah. Mulch palsy before us.
Yeah. All right.
Go for it, Hector.
So we basically got the first 4 about the same. And that was kind of my thinking of because I seen them do it. Like almost them being the best player on that team.
The only fluky one is Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, and because you did see him going to the Raptors and really pull that one off. But I think he had a supporting cast that was comparable to really, because now you still see them being productive even after he left. But
well, it's not only that. It's not only that. It's the fact that there were certain players missing in that finals. If I'm not mistaken, someone hurt their ACL and someone tore their Achilles. If I'm not mistaken,
it was good timing for that to happen. For Kawhi.
I'm just saying, if are we still saying, does he win the title as him being the best player if he doesn't win that title?
Well, but the thing is, we can't change history. He won the title, and he was the best player on that team.
Yeah. No, I know that,
I mean?
but I know that. But so how would I say this?
Are you trying to do a hypothetical now? Like if they were to be back, I don't know. Like remember,
it's results. Don't let results change your mindset. Sometimes the eye test is something that tells you this. That how would I say this? Like okay.
I mean, regardless even now, you could even say, I mean, for me, since Kawhi left the Spurs haven't been the same. So, and then he went on to win a championship. So I guess that's also what my thinking is, though, too.
Well, that's because they made a stupid ass trade and trading for DeRozan.
Yeah,
right. But since Kawhi has left, they haven't been the team. They were almost like always in the playoffs and coming in.
I just think Kawhi makes Kawhi great.
Right.
As where the other players they're great and make their teammates great as well. That's the only thing I have about Kawhi.
Right.
Kawhi makes Kawhi great, but when do you ever hear this guy being a great passer of the basketball?
Not even that, just a great freaking teammate. Guy doesn't sound like a good teammate.
Anyways, finish off your list.
Go for it.
Fuck, I know. I mean, you let him speak. All right, so same thing. It was LeBron. I almost wanted to put KD first, but LeBron just won. LeBron, KD, Kawhi, Steph Curry's 4. So at 5, I have AD, Anthony Davis. 6, I got Luka. 7, I got Lillard. 8, I got Harden. 9, I got Westbrook.
Ooh.
And then 10, I got Tatum. I'm just saying, I wanted to see his fucking face with that. No, I don't have Westbrook in the top 10. No, yes, I do.
Well, I was saying,
I
didn't know we were making a list of the top 500 players in the NBA when you put Westbrook.
I wanted to see your face. I knew he hates Westbrook. No, at 9, I had Jokic, but at 10, it was – I wanted to put Giannis there. Giannis to me is more of like – he could be like 10A or possibly 11 or 12. I really think Tatum is doing nice things. I think building around Tatum is really going to – so I had to put Tatum at 10. I had to put Tatum because
I can't fight that.
because they've been
That's a good one.
consistent. They've been
apparently
consistent.
he's 6'10" now.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, like, he's been consistent with that team. Even after Kyrie left, they still came back and he balled his ass out. He took leadership of that team. And so I really think the Celtics are kind of – they're hidden in there. I think another one – I mean, now we're getting in the top 15, but I was thinking like Devin Booker. I wanted to put Devin Booker up there. He's nice.
The one thing about Giannis is it just bothers me that he doesn't have a jump shot. That's
the thing.
One that it bothers me. His athletic ability is good. You need to work on your jump shot, dude. Like, God damn, like you're a professional, dude. Do what you got to do.
It's one of those things where if you're watching basketball, when it comes to these players, they're great. They're obviously in the NBA for a reason. But we're comparing them against each other, and that's where we're going. That's where we're bickering.
You're ranking the best of the best.
Yeah, my thing is in the half court when shit breaks down and you need to get a bucket. What is it that you can do? Mm-hmm. Not something in the fast break. You know what I'm saying? Where Giannis is a monster, where half of the defenders are past him, and he's everything's to the rim. It's when it's in the half court and everybody is set. What is it that you can do? Mm-hmm. That's my thing with Giannis.
Yeah.
That's my thing with Westbrook. I know he made a comment of that's why I hate Westbrook. It's not that I hate Westbrook. Is Westbrook is one of those Lamar Jackson, one of those Cam Newtons. You'll see him on Instagram, House of Highlights, Bleacher Report. And it's like, oh, my God, what a sick-ass dunk. Okay, is he going to be dunking 15 times a fucking game? He's not.
Right. When
he's not.
Westbrook, I mean, he's a dog when he plays. He's a dog. He really attacks the hoop, but you've seen it, like, even with the Kyrie, you could put Kyrie in the top 10, but if you're talking about the top 10, like Smurf alluded to, is if they're the best player, are you going to win? Are you make those around you better? And so that's why I do like a Luka up high on there, because he gets everybody involved. You put people around him to help him, and he's gonna pass if he wants to pass. If he needs to pass, he's gonna shoot if he needs to shoot. He's gonna defend if he needs to defend. He's gonna help others around him be better. And he kind of almost like revitalized Porzingis' career after coming off with the Knicks, because they were actually a nice duo in there. You don't see that through Westbrook. Every team he's been on, he has great players around him, but he wants to be the guy.
Right.
And you're not going to win like that.
I compare Kyrie and Westbrook to, you like watching them. They're great games to watch, and it's just a highlight reel. And it's like, wow, this guy is great. At the end of the day, it's just all show. It's nothing. It's not going to get him to a championship. Kyrie and Westbrook. I think they're kind of that. I like watching them play. They're good. They have good passing ability. They're fun. It's interesting. But at the end of the day, that one guy is not going to make your team great.
Right.
We saw it with Boston. We saw it in Cleveland. We've seen it in Oklahoma City. It's just those. That's it. I like watching them. I think it's great. But to think that they're going to be the top 10, no, I don't think that.
No, but I disagree. I disagree with the whole comparison between Westbrook and Kyrie, because one is all athleticism, one is the worst 3-point shooter in NBA history, and the other one is skilled and has won a title. See, I think Kyrie Irving, though he's sentimental and a lot of people think he's sensitive, he is a good sidekick. As for Westbrook, I don't know.
Don't tell Kyrie though he's a sidekick though. He'll be all hurt.
I'm just saying, fun to watch. That's my thing. I like watching him with Kyrie's
box
skill.
office.
Yeah, it's fun to watch him play because Kyrie has great skills. Westbrook's just athletic, and that's where I put them together. I just love watching them. You know what I mean? They're fun to watch.
And it's weird talking about Harden because I wasn't a big Harden fan. But I've seen a match. I got to be objective here on the TSR show. You've seen a little bit of maturation with Harden as far as his defense, and not like how he was before. You know this, Smurf. Don't even give me that look.
I'm just waiting for you to finish right now.
He's not like a top fucking defensive player in the fucking league, but before he wouldn't even try. Let's be honest. He would let people.
Okay, no.
Past him.
I'm just. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish what
No,
you're saying.
and also, but also, about 2 years ago, didn't want to pass the ball, and now he's starting to kind of get everybody involved. So I think it says a lot that he even wanted out of Houston, even though they were still willing to trade Westbrook and find him someone. It's one of those things where Westbrook, it almost like he'd rather be the best player on a shitty team than to be one of the best players on a great team.
See, the thing with Harden is he's already been – the organization has catered to him. At some point, are you the issue? Because they got Dwight Howard and shipped him out. They got Chris Paul, shipped him out. They got Westbrook and shipped him out. At some point, is it you?
Right.
Yeah, what's the common denominator? You?
Right.
So,
Shit.
anyways,
I didn't see that. That's hella true right there, dude.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Anyways.
76ers are a big landing spot for him. One of the big landing spots for Harden.
I wouldn't mind him playing with Embiid.
Do you think they'd have to give up Ben Simmons?
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have to. They need something to get out of it.
What? So we kind of agree on everybody else on the list. So who did we really live? I left out Giannis out of mine.
I left out Jokic. And
I left.
possibly,
No, I didn't leave out Jokic. I put him at 9.
No, you have.
So anyways, have you guys heard this whole LeBron comment about I've won the 2 hardest championships in NBA history. The 2016 finals and this last year's tournament.
Go ahead, Ant. You're the Lakers fan.
You want me to kick it off?
Go for it, because I'm going to get frustrated right away. Go for it.
Okay. Nobody toots his own horn better than LeBron James. And nobody sells out better than LeBron James. For example, knowing he had to play the Warriors when they had KD, he basically sold out and conceded victory after they lost to the Celtics. He's a very Black Lives Matter. He's a very fucking, for the people. But when they asked him that shit about China, he had nothing to say. The oppressed people in China, he had nothing to say. But he's going to toot his own fucking horn. Wasn't he a fucking Yankee fan, but yet he's rooting for the Indians? All right, but, we'll talk about his statement. For him to say that he won a championship, two of the hardest championships, it's like, okay, let's start off with the 2016 finals. He came back down from 3-1. They beat, and this is where people attach shit to fit their criteria. The best team, 73-9, came back from 3-1. They're not the best team in NBA history, though the record says. Who would win a game between, or a series between that 73-9 team that didn't have KD against a team that had KD? Who would win?
A
The
team
team
that
with
has
KD.
KD, yeah.
Exactly. But he calls them the best team to fit his criteria, to fit his argument. The other thing is, remember when I said Kawhi Leonard was the one superstar that didn't have a blemish up until this point?
Mm-hmm.
Now he had a blemish. There's a blemish in that fucking finals when Draymond Green got suspended. That it plays a part into that 7 team was already, they were down 3-1 to the Thunder. Can you hear me?
I can
Yeah, I
hear
could
you.
hear you. I could hear you.
Did it just change up?
Yeah, it did.
It did,
It
huh? Wow. That was
Yeah,
weird.
it's just my AirPods. My AirPods went out. AirPods went out. And then the other thing is, I'm not making excuses for the Warriors, but they were up for a reason, 3-1. You know what I'm saying? They were up 3-1 for a reason. So for LeBron James to be basically catered a fucking suspension of Draymond Green, who was on his way to win MVP that series. He was going to win Finals MVP. And then this year, no fans, no traveling. It might have fucked with your whatever the fuck, with your head.
Your psyche, yeah. As far as your mental.
Your psyche. You can't disrespect former champions like that. You can't do that shit.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan never called himself, I'm the best fucking player in the world. Like this fucking clown called himself, yeah, after I beat Golden State down 3-1, I became the best player that game, or that after that. What about the Rockets, the 95 Rockets that played every series on the road and won the title?
Right.
What about the Mavericks that beat the Heat?
Mm-hmm. With Jason Terry, you had Dirk Nowitzki. It was
what I mean by that,
it was the Monstars against the Looney Tunes in that series.
and what I mean by that is there's obviously there's lucky breaks in championships. There is. But there are some that's like, for example, what is the fucking excuse for that series? For the Heat losing that series? You can't say, well, we like for example, in the 2016 finals, there was a suspension that took place. Whether right or wrong, that's something that's like one of those little, oh fuck, that happened.
Right.
And this year, there's no fans, there's no traveling. What is the asterisk in when the Rockets won the title in 95, where they played every series on the road? Or when the Miami Heat lost to the Mavericks? What is it?
I mean,
so this guy's a fucking clown for saying that.
Yeah.
So you guys are speechless right now because you guys probably went into this conversation LeBron James the benefit of the doubt, and now you guys are probably like, fuck, man, this guy's right.
No.
But go ahead.
I was letting you speak. This last year's, everybody has talked about it. It was a tournament style. And I think you do better in a tournament style Well, let's put it this way. This past year being in the bubble, the fact that you really didn't have to travel, no one had home court advantage. And players were talking about it, how that court was easier because it was like a shooter's gym. It was like a shooter's gym. So that's why you've seen a lot of no names in the beginning of the season, like have astronomical numbers in this tournament. You've seen guys out of nowhere coming in like, oh, yeah, the 30-point game, 40-point game, 50-point game, because they're like, well, yeah, I don't got to worry about fans over there waving their shit. Like, I can see the hoop. That's all I'm looking at. Of course I'm going to fucking shoot and do those things. So I can't give them that one because there was a lot of no-name players that did great, and the great players still had to, they still did great. So I don't think the environment itself made it easier for everybody to win games. Going up against the best team, like how he says, that one I wanted to give to him. And that's one I did second guess when you said it because, that was without a KD. And the Warriors were way better, even though their record, they didn't come out and go undefeated the whole season when KD came in, but just their production and their dominance on that court with the KD, it was like night and day from that year. And I think if that 73-9 team, hypotheticals, we don't like to really say that, they have a KD, they sweep that series. That's a fucking sweep all day because they were already up 3-1. The only caveat that I will give LeBron is even though they didn't have KD, they still had a better team than the Cavs that year. And LeBron did come back from 3-1 and win that one.
They really? Did they really?
I think so.
Crazy.
Don't let the numbers influence you is what I'm saying. The numbers is influencing the people.
No.
Anyways,
I'm not saying
ahead.
numbers. I'm not saying numbers. I'm saying from a skill standpoint. As far as roster to roster, who you taking if you put that roster of the Cavs and that roster of the Warriors in that year, which one are you picking to play on NBA 2K?
Well, the Warriors were favorite.
That's what I'm saying, is they were a better team. So you can kind of give them that caveat because on paper and on skill and by the eye test, the Warriors had a better team.
Mike, watch. Here's the thing.
Go for it.
They didn't finish playing the Warriors. Draymond got suspended.
Right.
So right there, that messed everything up. Throws your flow off. And that's the biggest thing, I think, with that whole thing happening.
But here's the thing. The Cowboys have the best offensive line, right?
No, they haven't.
No. Not right now. I'm saying the Cowboys have the best offensive line, right?
Oh, okay. You're saying, okay, yeah, go ahead.
When they had Tyron Smith, Frederick, Zach Martin, Lyle Collins, and whoever the other guy is, right?
Ronald Leary.
Ronald Leary. Okay.
This guy's crazy.
Okay. And they go into a game, right, and they win, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they got the best offensive line. They're rated whatever, right?
Right.
And then into the next game, they play a team, right? Minus one of those players. Or some of those players. But Hector, that they've been doing X, Y, and Z, and they're running on fumes at this point. At some point, one of them gets hurt, and then that they're good. They did good, but at some point, someone's got a nick. Someone's got this and that, and then you guys lose. They're not protecting Dak Prescott. They're not running the ball efficiently for Zeke Elliott.
Right.
And then they say, oh, well, you guys did X, Y, and Z because the numbers say this. But that Zach Martin he had an injury because he's running on fumes, and Tyron Smith didn't play because of his back.
Yeah, his elbow or his neck. Yeah, they're not 100%. I see where you're coming from.
So this is the thing.
Yeah.
This is the thing. They were down 3-1 to the Thunder.
Right.
Okay, you throw away that 73-9 record out the. That's just a number because they
Right.
lost more. They lost more times in the playoffs that they did in the regular season.
Right. Right.
And I'm not making an excuse for them, but what I'm saying is they almost lost to the Thunder, and at this point they came down from a 3-1 deficit themselves, and at this point they gave it their all, and they're running out of fumes.
Right.
In comes the finals, they're up 3-1, and they suspend Draymond Green. Bogut and Iguodala at that point were hurt.
Right.
But the point is, Draymond Green played game 6 and 7. He was there, and they lost both of them, right? That's what they would say. They lost both of them. Why the fuck didn't you guys win? Because that is not the same team that started off running the ball good with Ezekiel Elliott when they had a great offensive line, pass protecting great for Dak Prescott when they had a good offensive line. Week 16, they're not as healthy anymore. Their time ran out.
Yeah.
They had to win that game in 5. The longer it went, the more of a chance they were going to lose.
Right.
But they lost.
Right.
But they lost. They lost. It's not to say that they were that they deserve to lose or they didn't deserve to win, because a lot of people say, well, the Warriors won the first championship and they got lucky. Well, they were up 3-1 for a certain reason the next season.
Right.
And then that's when they made fun of the Warriors, and then and they never beat the fucking Warriors ever since. All those 3-1 lead jokes, well, guess what? The Warriors ended up being 3-1 against LeBron in the fucking finals.
Yeah.
They talked that shit. In came Kevin Durant and said, "Who's laughing now, bitch?"
Yeah.
That's why I thank Kevin Durant for coming to the Warriors and saying, "Oh, y'all making fun of the little homies? All right, LeBron, you got me when I had the fucking Tasmanian Devil as my point guard. Well, listen up now. Now I got Steph as my point guard. Where are them 3-1 lead jokes at now?"
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying even the Miami Heat one that they lost, where they lost to the Mavericks, that's more because that doesn't have an asterisk. That doesn't have someone got suspended. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
This self-indulgent buffoon. I hate LeBron. This is exactly why people might say, this is why I hate him. Who are you even talking like this? You won a tournament. You won a damn tournament where it was easier than hell. There was no travel. You didn't have to go anywhere. Yeah, it might have been rough living in a bubble, but the NBA made it so comfortable for you guys that it's probably a joke. Sorry you didn't get to go to your home to your families, but everything was probably just as good.
And here's the other thing. Bam Adebayo and Goran Dragic didn't play some of the games in the finals for the Heat.
There it is. So that's what I'm saying. So self-indulgent. He just wants to get so much accolade. Shut up, dude. Like, we know you're good. You're a freak of nature.
So much.
Yes, just stop, dude. This is exactly why I hate him. Just take your championships and walk. You won a tournament. I didn't even know they could suspend people in the finals. I was freaked out when that happened. I was like, how do you suspend somebody in the finals? This is the last games.
Yeah, Hector, I'm going to just put it to you. How do you suspend someone in a fucking finals, blood?
Yeah. That's like suspending like a Tyreek Hill for the Super Bowl because he ended up like going out to the strip club while they were on their vacation, and she says like, he owes me $200. Like, oh well, if you owe her $200, you can't play in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like,
And then here's the other thing. Here's the other thing now no one's talking about, and I'm thinking about. So you know how the Clippers weren't able to play the Lakers?
say that again.
Here's another thing that people aren't talking about that I know that people aren't noticing. You know how the Clippers didn't play the Lakers because they got eliminated by the Nuggets?
Right.
Remember how we
Yes.
fucking missed out on that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
the fucking Clippers choked. Because a lot of people thought they were going to beat the Lakers.
Yeah.
I didn't, but people thought. What are people going to say if the Clippers play the Lakers this year and the Clippers beat them? The Lakers.
It's gonna.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Clippers should have been the winners.
Aren't they
the
going to
champions.
say, they're lucky they didn't play the fucking Clippers last year because they would have beat them.
Yeah. Exactly.
When I disagree with it, but people are going to run off with that stupid ass. I think it's retarded.
Did it just change again?
Yeah, I did again.
Yeah, I just don't. That's why I don't like LeBron. He's a self-indulgent, dumb, ignorant guy that just does not know when to stop bragging on himself. You talk about your good parts, but you never talk about your flaws. You're like, you talk about all this hype that you're this, you're that. Let's talk about how you gave up in the finals. And the media won't hit him on that because then they know he's gonna black him out. It's gonna give him a bad taste in his mouth. He's gonna not want to deal with them. And that's why a lot of the media does not say stuff like that to him because they kiss his ass. And they kiss his ass. But you know what's going to happen? When he's out of the game, then they're going to talk all this smack. Then they're going to say he gave up in the finals. Because right now the media like ESPN, Fox Sports, they can't really talk bad about him like Skip Bayless does. But everybody else is going to be like, well, let's really talk. Was it really that hard? And they're going to go into that because he won a glorified tournament. He won the finals in 16. Yeah, but there was a lot of variables that caused that to happen. So acknowledge that those variables happened and don't turn around and spin it so that you did this excellent thing because you didn't.
Yeah. That's where you see the difference. And this is why you will, for us, we'll never say LeBron was better than Michael Jordan. Because Michael Jordan, he wasn't, maybe it was a different time that we lived in, right? Because there wasn't no social media and all this stuff. But social media let the fans and the haters speak for him. Even if you hated Jordan at that time, they were still buying tickets to go see Jordan because they're like, hey, I hate him, but damn, I got to go see him play. I got to see him play live. He's hands down the best player I've ever seen ever play the game.
And here's –
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, and so now with LeBron, you've kind of seen this in like the past since he's kind of like gone on to go to the Lakers. You see him a little more being a little bit more flamboyant, a little bit more arrogant. Even winning this past finals, I want my damn respect too. So I don't know if it's he has like this vindictiveness about him towards like the media and the haters. Whereas like Jordan was like, I don't care if you don't like me, I'm here to win chips and I'm going to take out your best team, your best player. I'm going to show them up. You know what I mean? Like you put a challenge in front of me, I'm going to overcome it and I'm going to let you talk about it. Whereas LeBron's like, did you see what I did? Did you see what I did? Did you see? Oh, what about the negatives over here? Don't worry about that. Did you see what I just did? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But here's the thing: when he talks about that title, the 2016 title. You guys remember he talked all that shit. He talked all that shit. His teammates talked all that shit about the Warriors.
And
even when they got KD
got
to get their shit murdered the following year and the following year. Even when the Warriors got KD, they played on Christmas and the Cavaliers beat the Warriors on a KD, on a Kyrie Irving jump around, turn around shot. It was basically a buzzer beater. And they were set. They were going to beat the Warriors. They couldn't even back that shit up. They couldn't. He couldn't.
Didn't he have the Halloween Christmas cookies or Halloween?
The Warriors blew the 3-1 lead.
Yeah.
That's why, to me, the best title to me, the best title to me that felt the best was winning the title the first year KD was there.
Right.
Oh,
Because
when he smoked
it's
them.
I remember it like yesterday. They talked all that shit, blood. They talked all that shit. They should have kept their mouth shut. We probably wouldn't have got KD. Here's the other thing. The Warriors, literally, if the Warriors did not exist, this guy would have been proclaimed the GOAT and had more titles than
Jordan.
Than Jordan.
Yeah.
And the Warriors came out of nowhere. They kind of did. After Mark Jackson got fired, you figure they came out of nowhere and they just were bad. They just came out of nowhere, and I don't think nobody saw them being that good. And that's why
I still remember when Smurf was mad that they almost. I think I saw Smurf cry or shed a tear when they let go of the original Splash Brother.
Monte Ellis.
Yeah.
I was sad.
Yeah.
I remember I was at your house.
Yeah, he was like, he looks at his phone. He's like,
no, it wasn't my phone. It was my iPod.
You're like,
holy shit, iPod.
this is how he does. Blood.
Yeah.
Blood.
But honestly, that was the first step into everything that happened.
Yes.
That's when the Warriors actually had a legitimate center.
Yes. Damn, man. So that was a lot of sports to get into. Yeah, fuck yeah. Hell yeah. I still remember that shit, though.
Hey, so is it time for Parent Corner?
Nah, it's called Parental Advisory.
Parental Advisory.
Yeah.
So explain to the people what we're talking about.
So we're I don't know if we're gonna do it every week, but Parental Advisory is either gonna be a funny story that you have with your daughter or son, which I don't have a daughter or a son, or your parents. Just a funny story that has happened lately or has happened once in a while. So I have no kids. Anthony and Hector do. Hector has 2 daughters. And then Anthony has 1 daughter. I ain't got no motherfucking kids, but I do have parents. We all got parents. So I'll kick it off to Hector. You give us a little parental advisory.
All right.
Woo!
Well, this comes down this week on Parental Advisory. It comes down to the so I wanted to speak about the first time I got caught masturbating. So this was back in the day. So this is so far back. This is LimeWire days, right? So that was when. What's up?
I'm sorry. You said first time or the only time?
Okay. First,
I didn't catch that.
First and only time.
Okay.
First and only time.
I don't know if it was second or third.
Go ahead.
Man.
I didn't even catch that. But this was, I think I was like 12 or 13 years old around that time, because I was, so back in the day, these kids don't understand how good they have it when it comes to like getting porn and shit. That shit's just on your phone. It's free. Back in the day, you had good housekeeping magazines that you'd have to try to find like the attractive girl to like whack it to. And you had LimeWire. So back in LimeWire during dial-up days, net zero and shit, you had to download videos to really find some porn. So I ended up downloading some videos, and I had a little repertoire. I had like a document list, a file of all my shit. And at that time, I was feeling a little frisky, I guess. I started, I had the headphones on my computer, and I start watching some videos, things start getting hot and heavy.
Choking the chicken.
Yeah, I got my lotion on the side, got a couple, Kleenexes, a box of Kleenex on this side. And so I'm like going at it. And like I said, I had my computer on a desk, right? And it was a desktop at this time. So when I would start to get into it, I'd go on like my knees, right? And, so it was like,
Holy shit.
so I'd be like this, like that. Just going at it, like just watching videos and shit, right? And so, I'm watching videos, and I'm, I guess I like how I'm still on my knees and shit. So then, so I'm going at it. And at this time, my mom was still downstairs, but I thought I had locked the door.
So what time of day was it?
It was dark. It was like 8 o'clock at night. 8 o'clock at night. And I was going to do this. So we had hardwood floors, so I'd let it go on the floor and shit. You know what I mean? And I just wipe it up. And I was going to have to take a shower. I had a so I was like, I'll do it before the shower. So
I've stepped and maybe even laid down on that floor before.
No, it's not. So at that time, I had, you remember that old room I had? The computer was on the opposite side, so you're good.
Okay.
So that's what sucked is you see that door? See how I have that door? Well, it didn't have like a walk-through. It was just the door and the wall. This is exactly how it was. Computer was right here. Door was right there. Right?
Holy shit.
I'm on my knees. I'm going at it, dog. I'm like to that point where I'm like, oh, shit, it's starting to feel good. This and that. Like I said, I thought my door was locked. And all you hear is just like, whoosh, fucking door opens up. And I'm there. I'm there like this. I'm going at it. I'm like stroking the chicken. Door opens and I'm like this. My shit is just out. And my mom just straight up looks at me. She walks in. She goes, as long as you don't charge me, cabrón. And just closes the door.
She said what?
As long as they don't charge me, cabrón. And just closes the door.
Holy shit.
And I was just like, I was like, no, it's free. That's the only thing that came to my mind. It's free.
So,
holy shit.
So a couple questions. Are you like letting the pants meet the knees, the ankles? Are you straight commando, pants, everything off?
So remember, I'm on my knees.
Are you shirt lifted up? Are you shirtless? But
all right, I'll start with my shirt. My shirt was flipped from the front over my neck, so I still had it like around my shoulder. And the knee, remember, I'm on my knees on a hardwood floor, so my pants put them down to my knees, and they were like knee pads. So they was more comfortable. It was more comfortable because I would do it before without it, and I'd have to get up because my legs would go numb. So I decided it was sweatpants, put the knees, and they were like knee pads. And but after she came in, I was like so horrified at that point. I stopped.
I can't. Oh my god.
So another question. What were conversations the next time you ran into your mom like?
So I think, and that's, me and my mom really have a good relationship. So after that, she asked again, "Are you buying that?" And I was like, "No, Mom, it's free." And I was like, "I download it." And she's like, oh, okay. And that was it. She let it
Holy
go. Yeah, she didn't ask any questions.
Oh.
And you know what happened? Ever since that day, right after that, she would always knock on the door. She would always knock on the door. I swear.
So another question. What was the content on the computer?
So back in the day,
It was fuzzier than shit.
for those that didn't have LimeWire, sometimes it would say like Latina bubble butt, and then you download a video and it's really not that. I can't remember the video I was watching. I think it was, honestly, I don't even know what it was. But I remember downloading videos, bro, and I remember I saw one. It was the nastiest video, and I'll never get the video out of my head. It's this bald dude, right? Short dude, completely bald, sticking his whole head into this chick's vagina, bro. That was LimeWire back in the day. I had another video that I downloaded, right? This chick is holding on like to this fence. Those wood fences where it has like 3 posts along horizontally like this. She's holding on, and a fucking horse comes trotting, puts his fucking 2 top legs on the fucking fence, and bestiality shit, bro, just starts going in on her, and she just like,
God.
yeah, I'm not
Bestiality.
Yeah.
He said bestiality.
That was the shit you would download, because the title never matched the video. Sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. And y'all know LimeWire, bro. You had 10 of the same video, so sometimes I'd have to download one and it'd be something totally different. And I'd have to just go down the line because that's the video I wanted and shit. Bro, I was back in that time, bro. I used to look up like Rachel Ray and shit. Like, she would turn me on like on the Food Network and shit. Dog, she was fine back then, dog. That's what it was back in the day, dog. And I remember they would, like, on LimeWire, you download photos, and I type in Rachel Ray, and it was her face, but like on models' bodies, and I thought it was her. So I was like, damn, she fucking bad with no. I can't believe she would do videos like this. She's on Food Network. You know what I mean? Like, she's on lingerie and shit. I was like, damn.
Oh,
That's funny. That's funny.
Dude, you are wild, bro.
Hey, Anthony, you got any questions? Any parental advisory?
I got one. I don't think it's gonna be as funny as this. But god damn, that was funny, dude. I couldn't stop laughing because I can picture it. But when your mom cares more about the bill than her son jerking off, dude.
That's all she said.
Oh my god, I can't believe that shit. Oh, okay, let me get my bearings correct. Jesus Christ. No, mine was actually just like probably about 6. No, it was probably about a year ago. So
Is it with your hold on, is this with your mom, with your parents?
this is with my mom. This is my parents. And so I'm up north and I'm hanging out with this girl. It's probably about 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm just hanging out. We just finished having sex or whatever. And we're kind of kicking back. I got dressed. We're throwing on a movie. And I was like, I was going to go on for the second round. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of started messing around. My phone kept on going off. And I was like, oh, shit. She was like, check your phone. And I was like, nah, don't worry about it. It's probably a friend hitting me up. She's like, no, check your phone. And it wasn't like a jealous. It was more like it's going off a lot. Like, you should check it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I checked my phone. It's my mom. She called me like 4 times, dude. I was like, holy shit, what happened? I know she went out tonight. Hope she's all right. So I call her back. She's all, hey. And she goes, hey, I'm at a casino and I need you to come pick me up. And I was like, what? And I was like, really? Like, what's wrong? Like, are you okay? And she's like, no, I'm fine. And she's like, no. And she's like, I just don't feel comfortable here. I feel like he got me drunk on purpose. And I was all, what? What are you talking about? I was like, well, the guy got a, like, she's all, the guy got a room and I don't feel like staying here. I think, and I was like, you're really drunk. And I could hear it in her voice, bro. She's like, like talking all
can you
rambling
come
and
get
shit.
me?
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, holy shit. So you're talking like an hour and about 20 minutes away. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go pick you up. So I tell this girl, and I go, yeah, I gotta go pick up my mom. Like, she needs a ride. She's like, yeah, right, you're lying. I said, no, like, look at my phone. It says mom on it. Like,
Yeah.
I even have like a picture of my mom. So she's like, oh, okay, well, let me know when you get down there. So I'm driving. I drive down there, and I'm like, hey, mom, I'm like a little bit away. Just hold up. I'll be right there. And in the back of my mind, I'm picturing myself going, I remember my mom used to tell me, if you ever get drunk, Hito, call me and I'll go pick you up. Never did. I never called my mom. I took risks after risk, and I'm not going to say details, but friends driving me, people, I'm driving myself. I never called my mom. I was too embarrassed to. I was like, no, I don't want my mom to see me all smashed, whatever. So I'll get to the casino. I call her. Finally, I go into the front desk, and there she is at the fucking door with her head down, just passed out. So I look at her and I go, hey, you okay? And I just go, and she goes, yeah, let's go. So I'm having to walk her. Then her friend comes, and there's a guy. He's like, hey, man, I just put her there for a second. I was like, no, let's just help me walk her to my car. She get into my car. And she's like, yeah, I don't know. And I was like, I felt like such a parent. I was like, Mom, you need to really seriously think about who you're hanging out with. Because you're really drunk right now. I was like, you're really drunk right now. And I was like, what were you drinking? And she's like, I don't know, so I can handle beer. But then we started taking shots. And then he said he had a room. And then he was dancing with other girls. And I go, it's not the fact that she was drunk. It was the fact that she got jealous that this guy was dancing with other girls.
Yeah.
You can't be jealous like that. Dude, it thinks all you guys are married, and I started going off on my whole relationship rant with her, dude. And she was like, I don't want to hear it. I'm a grown woman. I don't want to hear this. You shouldn't be telling me. I was like, I'm the one picking you up. I gotta say something right here. And dude, by the time we got to the house, she went to the bed. I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe this. So I called that girl and I was like, I just can't believe I picked up my mom like this. She's like, oh, that's really nice of you. No, let me text her. I was telling her. She's like, oh yeah. She goes, oh yeah, your mom got jealous. She got jealous.
But see, my question is, did you ever bring up the fact that you were about to go round 2? And now
I never did. No, I never did. And that's the thing. I was going to crash at that girl's house. I was off the next day. You know what I mean? I was like, had some plans, and I was like, sure.
Why didn't you bring her with you?
Oh, no, she's not that type. I don't ever bring girls around my mom. She's a tramp, dude. Like, why am I going to be a tramp around my mom? Like, I could take her like she was just like a regular.
Got a point.
Yeah, I don't bring chicks like that around my mom. Because my mom.
Just to be honest, just to play devil's advocate, your mom wasn't all the way there to recognize.
Oh no, I didn't think she was, but at the time I was like, I wanted to spend the night there, kick it. She kind of makes good food, so I was like, kind of missed out on a breakfast. I was really looking forward to that, but.
And I think I know where you were at. Yeah,
you know where I was at.
Yeah, the one with the fucking yeah.
The mess.
The annoying kids.
Kids. Or you want to punch them in the nose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parental
that's what I was at.
People.
Okay, so going back to it, Hector and Anthony, what is your parental advisory to the next kid that could be in your situation? And then Anthony, what is the parental advisory to the next, I guess, son or daughter that could be in the same position? I'll start off with Hekalek.
Make sure you cross your T's and dot your I's. Number one, make sure it doesn't go on a bill. Whatever, don't buy anything. There's plenty of things out there that are free and that can really get you off. Like I said, I mean, people nowadays, y'all got it lucky, bro. I used to look at TV novela, like magazines in the bathroom, and I'd have to find something, bro, that just made it worth my while. And make sure you lock your doors. That's about it. But I think, you know what? Honestly, my advice would be like, if you're already in that time and you do, like I said, I have a good relationship with my mom, and she never really like, she never like,
Pause.
no. You know what I mean? Like a fucking mother son. Don't do that, brother. Come on, bro. Like, what kind of shit? Come on, bro. Like, no. But what I'm saying is, like, you know, she was the first one to buy me condoms. My dad never. She was the first one to talk to me about sex and condoms. Obviously, they didn't work out because I had my kid at 16. You know what I mean? So.
What a guy.
You know what I mean? Like, and she gave me the condoms before then, and I still didn't use them. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, just make sure your doors are locked and nothing goes on a bill. Don't leave a paper
But
check.
I say pause. I say pause, and you keep saying me and my mom have a good relationship, as if you say that as if like you have no shame into getting caught choking the chicken by her specifically.
From
You know what I'm saying? Like,
nah, but that was the thing. That was the thing. That was the circumstance, and that was
you know what I'm saying? It's like,
no. That was
it's like
from that moment forward. Check it out.
it's like
No, but
okay,
see,
like,
but
I'm
in
gonna do some
no,
fucked up shit.
Smurf.
But if so and so finds out about it, we have a good relationship. I don't mind.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That moment and what happened and when it happened, I really didn't have shame about that. I
So
mean,
why didn't you just be like, oh, we have a good relationship. I'm gonna keep it up.
no, because that's what I'm saying. It's not that I stopped because I was like, she just saw my junk. I mean, I more so stopped because I was like, kind of like, all right, like,
Holy shit.
yeah,
Like, holy
weird.
shit.
This was
You didn't say that. You didn't say she saw your junk. This is
no, I
breaking
did.
news to us right
I said when I turned, my junk went like that because I was like,
It gets better. It
like, you
gets
know what I mean?
better.
Because like, think about it. I'm like this. She comes in. I'm all lotion all like coming down off the hand and shit. Like, and she just like, and then at that time, like, it was dark. You know, the only thing you saw was the computer screen, but it was bright enough. Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of, bro. Think about it. Think about it. She walked in with my shirt, the front of my shirt over my shoulders, my pants around my knees as pads, my ass
Holy
is sticking out, and my junk just swivels over to her. And I'm just
funny shit, bro. Oh my God.
her to only say, as long as they don't charge me, then that, like, her thing was like, this motherfucker better not be buying $10 videos and shit.
Shit.
You know what I mean?
You better not have a monthly subscription.
I
You know what? Hey, real quick.
I got a
No,
picture. Hey,
hold
Anthony,
on.
I got a
Hold
picture
on.
of Hector in the act.
Let me see.
I was like that. But with like a gut. With a gut. At that time, I didn't lose weight. You know, I had a gut. I don't want to do it on this jersey, but on the next show, I'll set up.
Hey, Anthony,
Oh,
the new tagline is, but me and her have a good relationship.
No,
We have a good relationship.
But you know what?
Anything in shame, but we have a good relationship.
You guys just made me click something in my head. Y'all just made me. From that point forward,
oh my God.
I never subscribed to anything. Besides the TSR show. But when it came to like porn, I was like, nah, if it ain't free, I don't want it.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask y'all this. Let me ask y'all this.
I'm gonna die. It's so
Let me
bad
ask
right
you
now,
this.
bro.
Let me ask you this, Hector. Since Hector and Anthony, since you keep saying you have a good relationship with your mom, if this ever happened with Steph, you have a good relationship with Steph, right?
Yeah.
See where this is going.
Yeah.
So if has this ever happened with Steph?
No, because what has it happened with Seth? I don't think it has. I don't think she's caught me in the act.
Okay, because I was gonna say.
Holy
Are
That's
you
why
gonna
I
say
don't
the
charge,
same thing?
though.
Well, me and Steph have a good relationship.
He's gonna turn around and go, "Don't we have a good relationship?"
Let me finish. I'll be right there. But that's why I don't charge shit either.
Oh my God!
Don't leave
I'm trying to save you money, girl.
Yeah, don't leave a paper trail.
Hey, just know that
Oh
if
my
I
God.
ever caught you, even though me and you have a good relationship, it's not. I don't want you to use that excuse.
Well, if you caught me, that would be super
would
awkward. Yeah,
I would
it'd be
laugh.
like.
I would laugh, bro. I would laugh.
I think it would depend. At that point, that was like the worst, most vulnerable time to ever catch me. Like I said, the shirt over the head, on the knees on some hardwood. Nowadays, if you catch me, I'm gonna be like on the bed or some shit. Like, you know what I mean?
With your
fucking
phone,
sitting
with
there.
your phone 2 inches away
Yeah,
from
you
your
know what I
face.
mean? Like, I'll have the blanket over me. It's like, hey, bro, you caught me.
My thing is, why does he have his shirt like that?
Because he didn't want to get shit all over it.
Yeah, like that was my PJ shirt. I didn't want to sleep with it like on my PJ shirt.
Oh,
Like I said, it was
shit.
hardwood. I would like bust on the wood and then I'd wipe it off.
I'm surprised he
Clean
didn't
it
have a
up.
towel, dude, to put his knees
Oh
on.
man, I'm gonna warn Axel about those wood floors.
I'm sure he's probably done some nastier shit.
Oh my God.
There was another time, bro, when I was a kid, and my grandma used to take care of me during the summers and shit, right? And my uncle at the time lived with her, and so he had all the movie collections. He'd always buy the new movies every Tuesday, right? So I'd always spend time in his room just watching movies. They didn't have cable or nothing like that. And I remember I was like looking for the controller one day, and I pick up like a sock of his, and like there's like gunk all over my shit, all over my hand. At this point, I'm only like 6 years old, and I'm like, what the fuck? It's like lotion.
What's in this thing?
Yeah, I was like, is that fucking like lotion or some shit? So like, I was like, oh, what the fuck? And I continued on, like, just fucking like looking for the controller and shit. So then I'm looking through like the cupboards of his TV stand and shit like that. And I gotta like kind of thank him for showing me porn, because I open up a cupboard and it's just DVDs of straight like porn, just straight porn fucking going up and down that shit. And once I found that,
Physical media, huh? What a time to have physical media.
Mm-hmm. But that I never, then when I actually first like had jacked off and ejaculated, that story went back into my head. I said, oh, that wasn't lotion on that sock, bro. Like, it was not lotion on that sock. I know what that was. It was about 7 years later it clicked.
Shit.
All right, so Anthony, you got any parental advisory as to
I just gotta say, sometimes the roles reverse. Your parents, you might have to look out for your parents sometimes. My mom's been single quite a bit, so I just kind of never thought that'd be happening. But to have to pick up your mom in the middle of the night, or even your dad, or for anybody else out there, just do the right thing if they did it for you, even though she didn't do it for me. But It was
It's
just
because
funny.
you
I
were
thought,
scared to call her though. Around that
dude,
age,
I
yeah.
would have got yelled at.
Yeah.
At that age, I would have been yelled at. Where's your car at? It would have been awful. So,
Yeah.
but no, that's mine. It's not as funny as Hector. Jesus Christ, wood floors and everything.
Bro, I got plenty of stories, but when next time we'll do that, I'll bring another one in. I'll bring another one.
God,
All
damn,
right.
that's funny.
I used to smoke. I used to like smoke like cigarettes outside my window and shit.
This guy is
Just
crazy,
to,
bro.
but I would like here was the like the window, and I'd be like this.
Blood. If I'm not mistaken, he used to get lit in his bathroom and do it out.
Hey.
We'll save that for
What?
another one. Let's save that for another one.
Hold on. I'm not saying anything new that you just said right now.
I said cigarettes. I said cigarettes.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's what I meant.
Right.
What did you think I was talking about?
No. Go ahead. I used to what?
And if I remember, if I'm not mistaken, I used to go in there. No, I used to be chilling in his room, and if I'm not mistaken, he used to do it in there with Steph.
Yeah. So we used to go. So my parents added on to the house, right? So my room was actually the old master. So I had a bathroom in there. So what I would do is there was that small little bathroom window right next to like above the toilet. I used to stand on top of the toilet and smoke cigarettes out of there like this. I'd hold them out there as hard as I could, but to the top. So the smoke would travel up.
And you
With a
used to
big
put
old-
towels. You used to
On
put
the
towels
door.
on the door.
Yeah, that ain't even the worst part. I used to get like the paper towel roll or the paper towel roll, the cardboard roll, and I'd put like what are they like Charmin like guards, like the pads that make shit smell good. I'd put them in there, I'd take an inhale and blow it through there so it fucking smell fresh. And
That's what they
shit
do
like
in
that.
jail. That's what they do in jail. That's what they do in jail.
That's what I
They
would
get the
do,
toilet
bro.
paper and they pack it with the wet, and you blow it into it.
Yeah. That's what I would do. So, and I would just hold it out there. I would just
You're
hold
crazy,
it out
bro.
there. It was crazy.
Damn, you did anything to smoke a cigarette. You didn't just go
All right, well, that
outside.
about wraps it up, nah?
Yeah, I think that was a good show, man. I had fun on this one.
Yeah, I had fun.
Next week, hopefully, we'll be meeting in person. This might be the last Zoom.
Yeah.
Well, probably not the last Zoom, but last Zoom for a while.
Yeah.
Hopefully. If
All I gotta say is, coming up next week, I am pissed off about this, guys. So we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, we got to get more info on that one.
We'll see what their team name is going to be.
I know those cocksuckers.
Hey, they got to do what they got to do, man.
We'll talk about it next week.
All right, then, boys. For myself, Heck, and my boy Smurf and my boy Ant, we are the TSR Show. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't yet, subscribe, like the show, and make sure that you check in with us next week. All right? We out.
Later, guys.